Hi everybody, Robert Dyer, and welcome to the Robert Dyer channel, where today I have a product that's new from Hostess, one of my favorite brands, but it's something I've heard absolutely nothing about. It just suddenly appeared in my area here at Giant, which if you're in the Northeast you might have a Stop and Shop. Same thing, but these are Hostess Bouncers. We're going into the nightclub and we're being confronted by Hostess Bouncers. Unbelievable. They're supposed to be like donut holes. Cinnamon Donettes. They're little donuts, as you know. And these are probably the most exciting, which is Glazed Twinkies. And yes, you heard correctly. This is kind of like McDonald's with the Big Mac. They don't mess with the Big Mac at McDonald's very often. I think they had those Mac wraps and they had the Grand Mac, but you don't see them doing anything crazy with the Big Mac that often. So here they're putting a glaze on the outside of a Twinkie cake. So they're sort of engaging in some level of blasphemy here. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the packaging here. Here's the Twinkies, Glazed Twinkies version. You've got the Hostess logo. You've got this bouncing Bouncers logo. Here you have the actual product. You can see that thin layer of glaze on the outside. 5 pouches baked with real vanilla. That's kind of an interesting, you don't hear that on a Twinkies, don't usually see that on a Twinkies wrapper. And then over here we have the same thing again, but we have this cinnamon dark tint to it, and it's a Donettes mini cake donut. So they're saying no more high fructose corn syrup. The rear of the package, I think they've wasted the space here because it's just basically showing the product, but it's not saying it's delicious or why I should pick it up. It shows it going in or out of a knapsack of some kind. I have to say the nutrition facts for 3 little donut hole type things, that this is excessive to 220 milligrams of salt. I mean, that's more than what's in a whole Twinkie. 23 grams of sugar. And then over here for the cinnamon donuts, at least it's got a little less salt, 180 milligrams, but the same amount of sugar. So we're not here for the nutrition, obviously. So let's go ahead and get these open here. And I'm going to get one out. I'm going to try the most exciting one first. You see, you get this little sealed pack with, I believe there are 3 bouncers in it. So I hope you're not wearing any athletic wear or breaking any other club rules here. Looks like they've got one of those little cardboard cards in here to protect it, but on the other hand, sometimes the cake sticks to that, and oh well. So here we've got a not that great looking Twinkie bouncer. I mean, this is what happens when Twinkie, the kid's down his luck and he becomes a bouncer. As you can see, there's a decent amount of glaze frosted on there. And I can smell the glaze. Smells kind of like a glazed donut. And then the bottom smells like a Twinkie. What a shock. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Camp Lejeune. I noticed the cream filling in there. There's an okay amount. It's a little denser than it usually is inside of a Twinkie. It has more of a whipped texture to it in a regular Twinkie. This is a little thicker. I don't know if it's the glaze or the fact that they're talking about real vanilla, but there is a hint of vanilla that's not in a regular Twinkie on this. Were you at Camp Lejeune? And the cake was pretty moist on that. I think it does help when you put glaze on something. Make it a little, keeps it a little fresher. Now I'm going to open up the cinnamon donettes. See if we can get this out of here without it all sticking to the card. So there we have. This one doesn't have quite as much glaze on it. I think the machine skipped. It's definitely got that school morning breakfast, sort of like a cinnamon apple muffin or something type aroma. Not as much glaze aroma because there isn't as much glaze. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes. The color of the cream filling's a little slightly darker shade than the Twinkie one. It's got a pretty good cinnamon cake donut flavor. Still a little bit like a muffin for some reason. I don't know what the ingredients are here, but I don't see any ingredient that would explain this hint of apple flavor I'm getting. Hi, I'm TarnationBob with the Tarnation and Tarnation law firm. Did you drink the water at Camp Lejeune between 1950 and 1983? Did you know that now, thanks to an act by George Clooney in the Congress, you too at home can get Camp Lejeune water now? You know, whether it's barracks without air conditioning or the finest drinking water, America knows how to take care of its armed forces. And now you can get the same kind of high quality drinking water at home. But don't take my word for it. Ask our chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, whether he's calling in a righteous drone strike on aid workers in a third world country, passing classified information to his Chinese communist counterparts, or just daydreaming about deploying the U.S. military against his own people. Nothing refreshes General Milley like the clean, crisp taste of Camp Lejeune water. 12 out of 10 college students prefer Camp Lejeune water over Bill Gates' Facey's water. It's time to lose those bad for the environment plastic expensive water bottles and time to switch to Camp Lejeune. Well, I think I was pleasantly surprised by these. They seem sort of ho-hum when I saw them on the shelf. Other than that, I'd never heard of them before, so I was intrigued. But as I completed the last bite of the, I guess it was a 2-bite cinnamon donut, but there was a little explosion in my mouth of what appeared to be like a cinnamon flavor added to the cream filling, and it's also dense like the Twinkie filling was on this, and I really thought I was in a French bakery for a moment. So I'm quite impressed with these. I see there's a chocolate flavor as well that's supposed to be a ding dong. So I'm eager to try that as well. I think these did what they promised. I think probably the good thing was they didn't overpromise, and it ended up being a lot better than what it looked like, because whoever thought it would be a bad thing to take a Twinkie and add a layer of Krispy Kreme type glaze to it. The only negative I see here is just the fact that, in particular, the Twinkie has a lot of salt in it, but you only get 3 of these little things. Having said that, they are 3 surprisingly rich little things. So I'm going to say, for what these are, I am shockingly going to say not only 5 stars out of 5 stars, but I believe that this is the first product all year, and maybe in more than a year, that's going to get a John Candy Award, the illustrious, exclusive, rarely doled out John Candy Award on the Robert Dyer channel, which is awarded to only the most decadent, rich products. And like I say, what if you took a Twinkie and you put glaze on it and you made the filling more rich, and then you took a plain old cinnamon donut and you not only put glaze on it, but you stuff a rich French bakery cream filling inside. This has certainly, I think, earned a surprising 5 stars and an even more surprising John Candy Award. I hope you like this video. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.